So in this video, we're going to handle a question under bearing. And here the statement says, two boats, X and Y, leave port P at the same time. X travels on a bearing of 159 degrees. So 159 from this point to that point, that is 159 degrees. And Y travels at a bearing of 215 degrees. So from this point to this point here, that is 215 degrees, as shown in the diagram below. After some time, X and Y are at points such that angle PYX is equal to 41 degrees. PYX, which is this angle here, that is 41 degrees. The first question they're saying, find the bearing of X from Y. So the bearing of X from Y, meaning from Y to X. So our Y, it is at this point here. So to move from Y to X, we are going to draw a north line. So bearing is measured in clockwise direction. So after drawing a north line, we are going to move in this direction until we meet the line for X, which is this line here. So this line is for P, this line is for X. So this angle here, it is the one that we are calculating. Now, how can we find this angle? One thing that you need to understand in bearing is that angles, so angles that are in this form, so angles that form this shape, if this is north and also this is north, this angle here and that angle, let's say this is angle X and this is angle Y. So angle X and angle Y together, when we add them, they must give us 180. So X plus Y must give us 180 when we add them. Meaning if we are given angle Y, for us to find angle X, we subtract that angle from 180. So here, if we check our angle that we are finding, we've been given the angle from this point to that point to be 41. So we can find the angle from this point to that point so that we add it to this point, to this angle. The way that we can find this, from what I've explained here, meaning we need to find this angle so that when we know this angle, we can subtract it from 180 and find this angle. Already the distance from this point to that point, that is 215, and a full circle must add up to 360. So to know this angle here, we are going to subtract 215 from 360. So 360 minus 215. So here we borrow 1, this will become 5, this will be 10. So 10 minus 5, it will give us 5. This is a 5 minus 1 to give us a 4. 3 minus 2, this is a 1. So this angle here, it is 145. Now that we know this angle, to know the distance from this point to that point, the angle, we subtract this angle from 180. So this will be 180 minus 145. So here We borrow 1, it becomes 7. We add to this, it becomes 10. So 10 minus 5, this will be 5. 7 minus 4, this is 3. 1 minus 1, it will give us a 0. So this angle here, it is 35. So to find this angle, the bearing of x from y to x, we are going to add 35 plus 41. So for number A, therefore, we say 35 plus 41. So 35 plus 41, it will give us 76. When writing the bearing, if the angle that we found, it is having two figures, we add a 0 in front. So this will be 076. Always bearings are represented in 3 figures. Now for number B, bearing of P from X, meaning from X to P. So our X is at this point. We draw the north line. So the angle that we are finding, or the bearing, they are saying from X to P. So we are going to move in this direction until we meet the line for P. So this is the line for P. This is the angle that we are calculating. Now, to know this angle, unless we find this angle here, because the total of this, it must add up to 360. So this one, we are going to apply this idea here. Already, this angle, we know it, that is 159. So we can subtract it from 180 to have this angle here. So 180 minus 159. We borrow 1 from this, becomes 7. So this one will be 10. 10 minus 9 to give us 1. 7 minus 5, this is 2. 1 minus 1, that is 0. So this angle here, that is 21. Now that we know this angle, we can subtract it from 360 to give us this angle. A full circle adds up to 360. So for this one, we are going to say number B, 360 minus 21. So if we subtract 21 from 360, it will give us 339 degrees. So this is how we calculate bearings.